This is NEM 2014 quick interview session. I'm really privileged to be here with Bruce Tuchman, president of AMC, Sundance Channel Global. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Bruce, could you really give us some kind of tip? What will be done to Right for Destiny?
Yes, I would love to do all that, but that would probably be the end of my job if I did do that. So sorry about that.
No problem at all. We talk a lot about that iconic shows like Mad Men and Breaking Bad. Do you really see any new shows on the horizon that could be that huge and that iconic as Mad Men or Breaking Bad?
Oh, of course. I mean, as both of those shows, Breaking Bad recently ended its run. Mad Men will soon end its run. The human mind, the capacity for entertainment, always seeks great content. So there's not a question of whether there can be more iconic series. It will just be up to the producers to come up with great new ideas and great stories. There's a great capacity out there in the audience.
I think that for most major TV channels it's all about money and numbers of viewers, but probably for Sundance it's something different, isn't it?
Well, for Sundance internationally, which we just launched over the last few years, we're in almost 70 countries at this point. It has been a means to break into markets. Otherwise, it's very tough to launch channels in the current environment. I'm looking for something that fits the brand and the international markets that we're operating in.
How do you find that Eastern Europe market, recently? Is it growing up? Is it some kind of stagnation? Do you see any chances for new development on that part of the world?
Oh yeah, it is growing up, and it's really, there's a lot going on. New platforms are emerging every day. I see a lot of interesting developments with platforms looking to also start authenticated kind of OTT businesses. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of consolidation now happening in some markets, and there's some big players emerging. So the market's never been more dynamic than it is now.
What do you reckon about that, some kind of production idea to buy something in Europe and then rewriting for some other market? Is that working for you?
Well, Sundance in the US has picked up the French series, The Departed. So we've shown that in the US, actually subtitled. It's one of the first times into English, it's one of the first times a major network has done that in the US, and it's worked well for us. So I just see more and more of that happening as the world is converging more and more, communicating through social media and otherwise. I think of a show like that, and how did it get awareness in the US? 20 years ago, it would not have. There was no social media, there was no internet. It was hard to even learn about these things, but we're going to learn more and more as things move forward, and I think you'll see more of those kind of opportunities for exchanging programming and sourcing programming from all sorts of regions around the world.
Thank you very much for joining
My pleasure.
us here
Thank you.
in NEM 2014.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Bruce.
You got it.